celebrate 150 years of cable cars.
San Francisco is the only city in the world to have cable cars.
We invented them. It was our first step into high tech.
They say rice-a-roni is the San Francisco treat. No, it is not. The cable car is the San Francisco treat.
How many cable cars have your handiwork on them?
I'm going to say all of them.
There's about 5 of us in the shop here that are San Francisco natives.
San Francisco will always be my home, and I love it, and it will rise again.
I suggest that the real symbol of resilience is our cable car.
Not many things last 150 years, and the cable cars almost didn't. They've been threatened by fires, earthquakes, and of course, politics. But now, the cable cars are turning 150 at a time when San Francisco is having a bit of a bumpy ride. Downtown is fighting an uphill battle. But you know, some people would tell you there's no better way to get up a hill than this.
Those of you who walked up the hill to start the tour, you got a good taste of what it was like to be back in the 1800s.
Bruce Bennett gives historical walking tours with a nonprofit called San Francisco City Guides.
Andrew Smith Halliday descended down into the fog.
On this foggy day, he's telling a story that begins in 1873.
They all raised a hand to their ear to listen for the catastrophic crash, which never came.
It's the story of how an endless loop of wire rope,
6 bundles of cable, each bundle has 19 wires,
shaped the neighborhoods and the history of San Francisco.
That got the upper class people to move to Nob Hill.
So Nob Hill became Snob Hill because of the cable cars.
Yes.
It was earlier this year that Bennett realized out of more than 70 different free walking tours, San Francisco City Guides didn't have one about the cable cars. So he created it.
There was a coincidence of timing, it turns out.
Yeah, I didn't know it was the 150th anniversary.
How many of you were alive 150 years ago?
In a stroke of pure luck, Bennett launched his new walking tour just as the city began a string of celebrations commemorating Andrew Smith Halliday's first cable car ride down Clay Street. This event was put on by Market Street Railway, a nonprofit that preserves transit history, and Halliday was the guest of honor.
I was told I looked very good for being dead 123 years.
But all this revelry was happening against a troubling backdrop.
We begin with another blow to downtown San Francisco.
Westfield giving up the San Francisco Center Mall.
It is a wrap for Century Theaters in San Francisco.
More than a dozen national retailers have left San Francisco since the beginning of this year.
How do you feel when you see doom and gloom headlines about San Francisco?
I think, what is it that I can do to promote San Francisco in a positive light? And my way of doing that is through giving this tour.
It turns out he's not the only one pinning his hopes for the city on those little cable cars.
While other people are trying to write us off, we are doubling down.
You see, for all the things that have changed in recent years, the mayor knows there's one thing that hasn't.
When they come to San Francisco to visit, they want to go to the Golden Gate Bridge and they want to ride a cable car.
And as they lined up to hop on at Fisherman's Wharf, it was hard to find any complaints.
We've been here a day and a half and it's just been incredible.
In a spot surrounded by postcard views, it seems the photo everyone wants is this one, and maybe this one.
When in San Francisco, you've got to ride the cable car.
Something you really can only do here.
It's such a crazy old technology that we still use today.
It reminds me of my youth listening to the Rice-A-Roni commercials.
And did it live up to the Rice-A-Roni commercial?
It absolutely did. It's a San Francisco treat.
The city burned down to the ground 3 times, and the cable car was a constant through all of that. This is the symbol of San Francisco's resilience.
City leaders spoke as they unveiled something new that's actually very old. Built in 1883, it's the oldest working cable car anywhere in the world.
It looks as good today as it did then, and I want to thank all those workers who have continued to preserve it.
Far more than just cleaning and maintenance, preserving history like this requires preserving an entire craft that could have easily been lost generations ago. In a small building miles away from the cable car tracks, a team of master carpenters does something that's only done right here.
We build cable cars.
And with precision far beyond what's needed to build a house, they painstakingly restore these San Francisco icons, working from 50-year-old copies of 100-year-old plans.
pretty close.
This here is a cable car gong.
In honor of the 150th anniversary, Supervisor Andrew McCarran is giving a rare public tour of the shop where they make every part from bells to brakes from scratch.
This is the track brake shoe, and this is what it looks like after about 5 days.
Hang out long enough and you might get to meet Mark Sobachevsky and Louis Ferreira, the two carpenters working on cable car number 18.
What do you love about it?
Oh, if you like to work with wood, this is the place.
Ferreira's specialty is curved wood. When this car was last rebuilt in the 60s, it was given a plywood roof, but now he gets to rebuild it the old way.
It's similar to a wine barrel. It slopes this way and it slopes this way.
The wood here is second to none. There's flawless Alaskan cedar for the ceiling, African mahogany for the windows, all held together by long beams of California white oak.
The natural wood, it cannot get prettier than this.
And with today's modern tools,
What she do?
it all fits together perfectly.
It's amazing what they did back then without the tools we have today, you know.
Maybe even too perfectly.
Some of the conductors said it's no fun. This car makes no noise.
In all, rebuilding one cable car can take up to a year and a half. It's the original design with a few invisible upgrades.
There are little features that we've added, like we've added these little doors here. This is where the GPS and the camera equipment is going to go.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
When it's closed like this, everything's hidden.
And when the car finally rolls out onto the tracks, the pride they feel isn't just for themselves. It's for San Francisco.
It represents the city in a positive way. Cable cars bring a lot of joy to people.
What's the best thing about it?
Seeing what I built, seeing people happy on the line, kids, tourists.
Mark Sobachevsky used to build high-end homes, but now he's building a legacy. This cable car will be the 10th he's worked on from start to finish.
I'm a native San Franciscan. This means a lot to me. When I retire, if I retire, I will be going down on the line to turn around and look at the things I built.
It's already a place he likes to bring his granddaughter.
And does your granddaughter understand how much love you put into them?
She's 7. I hope so. I hope so. This is my life.
But for all the men who've built and restored them, it's women who've saved the cable cars again and again.
Fridell Klusman. She became known as the cable car lady.
In the 1940s, when politicians wanted to replace them with buses and trolleys, Klusman organized a campaign of women to put the cable cars on the ballot, where voters overwhelmingly chose to protect them. The city later named the Hyde Street turnaround in her honor.
And then Fannie Mae Barnes broke the glass ceiling.
Fannie Mae Barnes, the first female cable car grip.
150 years to the day after that very first cable car ride, it was only fitting that the first woman ever to operate those massive steel levers was recognized by the first woman ever to be Speaker of the House.
Miss Fannie Mae.
I know.
Barnes said she was just doing what her mom told her.
My mom told me, baby, you can do exactly what you want to do. You just have to put in the work. And that's exactly what I did.
And she didn't realize what a big deal it would be.
When I really realized that I made it was when it was international news. I heard it on the radio.
But at this celebration, another important guest was missing.
Our former mayor, Dianne Feinstein.
In the early 1980s, she took on the $60 million task of overhauling the cable car system with money from corporate donors.
San Francisco cable cars.
General Electric made this promotional video to show off the results, complete with its own song.
So we saved cable cars.
It shows Mayor Feinstein cutting the ribbon.
I'm so proud of Dianne Feinstein. This is really a tribute to her today.
Many had hoped Feinstein would be here for this, but the 90-year-old now Senator Feinstein had gotten sick. She died 2 months later. There she is on Cable Car 58 with another icon we lost in 2023.
I left my heart.
Tony Bennett brought timeless fame to the city by the bay without ever mentioning the Golden Gate Bridge.
In San Francisco.
His lyrics describe only the hills and the fog and, of course,
To be well little cable cars.
Those little cable cars that make their way up Nob Hill to the statue built in his honor.
Climb halfway to the stars.
Is this halfway to the stars where we're standing right now?
We're at the top of Nob Hill. It doesn't get any higher than this for the cable car, so we are essentially halfway to the stars.
He represents the good side of San Francisco, the cable cars, the fog.
In spite of all the problems everybody says we have, people who live here love San Francisco. And he loved it.
So Bruce Bennett, no relation, decided a tribute was in order.
I named the tour Cable Cars Halfway to the Stars in memory of Tony Bennett.
And he's not the only one.
We will honor him by dedicating a cable car named for Tony Bennett.
So as San Francisco looks toward its future, there's no doubt this piece of the past will be part of it.
We invented the cable cars here, and we're the last ones that have the cable cars still here.
They make San Francisco unique. They are a symbol of the city.
A city that rebuilds and reinvents itself time and time again, where no hill is too steep to climb.
May they continue to run for another 150 years.